A friend asked me if I could see the difference in myself because of seeing all the affirmation videos I have, and said that I'm glowing and wondering if, hey, do I really feel the difference and the improvement? And I've already been planning on making a response to that. And right now I decided this was the best time because I just had something else. Because it's a complicated answer. What you see in those videos is what I'm feeling at the time. But it's a lot of work also because there's still a part of me that likes to attack me. I just had about an hour ago, I had a shouting match at myself. And I was telling myself how much I hate myself. And that this is just, again, how much, I don't even remember the words that I said. But I was shouting at myself, for like 45 seconds. Not too long. It affected my mood. Tired now. And shouting at myself that, this is just proof that I'm a fraud, that I still have that. And I didn't say it out loud and I didn't really think it directly, but there was a part of me wishing that I wasn't here. And I still don't know if that part of me really, really, truly wishes that I wasn't here, or if it's just that part of my brain that's just picked up bad lessons that needs to be retrained. It's so hard to tell. It's complicated because, what you're seeing is me in those moments when I'm making them. And it takes a lot of effort. And it is hard work. Especially when you get these little triggers. And I'll tell you, the trigger was stupid. I got one of my bills in, and it said minimum payment. Just normal. It's the day for the bill to come in. It's fine. But the minimum payment was higher than normal. It's a standard amount normally. And I don't pay minimum. I pay more, but I was just like, It's like I did remember to pay the bill, didn't I? It's like because multiple times over the past couple of weeks, I've thought, it's like, did I pay that bill? I'm like, yeah, I definitely paid the bill. I paid the bill for sure, so I didn't go and check it. So I was like, It's like, did it go up because I didn't pay it, or just because I had some higher stuff this month? I was like, let me just go double check that. And I went to open up my secure browser so I could do it in a VPN, or not. And what normally would take me a split second to find, it took me 2 or 3 seconds to find the icon to click it in my taskbar. And it's not just that triggered me. Now, it wasn't just because it took the time. It's because when I looked down there, my mind just wasn't processing what it was seeing on the bars. I was just like, and then, so the fact that my mind couldn't focus is what pissed me off. And then I just was like, and then I just opened up, I opened up and carried on, but then I just was yelling at myself. How pathetic I was and everything, and then just digging in farther from there. But again, I let it go for about 45 seconds. I don't think it was a full minute, and then I was just like, carry on, just do what I need to do. This isn't just because I had that doesn't mean it's truth and it's gonna win. But it did affect my mood since then. Little things like that. And it's just like, then with the fact that it's so small, it just makes it dig in farther. You're like, see? But it is a complicated thing. And I don't want to go on for too much longer than this, but don't give up on yourselves. If you're going through these things and you're trying to fight these old painful patterns that who knows where the freaking hell we got them from. Because I know that no one ever said this to me in words. It didn't. So I didn't pick this up directly. But my mind turned it into this extreme thing toward myself. It did what it did. But it takes time. And it's work. And, just because you have these moments doesn't mean that the other moments when you're feeling good and you're carrying forward, it doesn't make those fake. It doesn't mean those are fraudulent, just because in other moments you let that mood and that darkness towards yourself take control for less than a minute. It's affecting your mood, but don't disqualify all the other positive times, because I've had far more positive times than I have negative times in the past several weeks. I've gotten a little bit triggered, as you've seen some of my videos, just because it's just like, I'm stressing myself trying to get so many things done that I just don't, and just having to focus better. But the difficult emotions I'm giving myself is like such a small, minute percentage. Percentage is the word of the time. So, yet when you're in the middle of that, in that moment, it feels like, well, everything else is just fake. It ain't fake. It ain't fake at all. So remember that. And I'm gonna get going because I got a training session now. Bye, everyone. See ya. Future Gang here. It's now 11 months later after that earlier part of this video. Something that, looking back on it, the biggest lesson I have from this is that when those little things, the self-judgments, the brain fog that I mentioned in some of the little flyover comments, stuff that was adding up a lot at that time, is to take it very seriously. In this video and in a couple videos I did before this, which was also from just the day before this one, I had talking about some stuff where I got triggered and that it's complicated, but thought I was handling it well. I was talking about it and I thought I had processed well through it. But during that week, more and more of those was happening. I was not satisfied with myself for how quickly I was able to get things done, like my videos. Like there was one day out, an edit that should have taken half an hour. It really should have, but I spent hours on it. I'm not entirely sure why. And I was just frustrated with myself. And sometimes my brain was just not working as quickly. It was just feeling more foggy. And I think, honestly, that's a subconscious defense mechanism, similar to the getting frustrated with myself and sometimes the negative self-talk. I think it's because I was sleeping well. And I've seen that happen just a few weeks ago where something was bothering me and I just started getting tired trying to think about how to answer some stuff on a workbook and everything. So I hadn't realized that just a few days after I made those videos, that's when I started going downhill really, really hard. And that's why the video never got posted, because I had a few other videos to do. So I posted those, but then I was going downhill. I stopped posting. And I got really depressed for several months. Started unhealthy coping by overusing the computer. I started video gaming, something I hadn't done in months and months. But at that point, I thought, oh, well, I'll just do this for a few days and I'll get back on track. Something just to get my head off of it. But I stopped doing the working out. I stopped doing videos. I stopped doing all the things I really should have been doing. I started doing the unhealthy coping for too long to the point where my hands actually started hurting and my eyes were hurting because I was staring at the computer for too long, my back. And after I pulled myself out of that after a couple months, I had already been in pain long before I stopped doing it, but I kept doing it anyway. So it got to the point where then months later, even though I wasn't using the computer, my hands were hurting. So all these little things where I was getting frustrated and brain fog and going slower and being judgmental of myself for not being fast enough and everything, even when I did these videos where I thought I was handling it well, they were happening more and more and more. So that's something that I need to take very, very seriously when I see them start building up. Happens once and then there's nothing for a while. Okay, fine. But if they start happening in close succession, even though each one I seem to be doing okay with, but if they keep happening, that's a major warning sign. So I'm going to try to learn that lesson and keep an eye out for that. And honestly, a couple weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, when I had a really bad emotional overwhelm, and then some other things later that week that just had me getting in my head and thinking, trying to tell myself I can't do this. I was having some of that brain fog again. I was having some of that self-judgment, but the tools that I've been using, connecting with myself, the inner work, the
partly reparenting myself. The same thing that I connected with at my last retreat, the core of me that really does care about me. I've been using that to talk with myself and talk to these other parts of myself and try to heal that. It's a slow process. It's little by little, but I think it's working because even though I was in a mood for about a week, I've been in a great mood for the past 2 weeks since then. And even though I'm not getting stuff done as quickly as I want, because I want to get these videos done more quickly, get my backlog. I want to do some coursework for the courses that I've signed up for. I want to just do a lot of things. There's a lot of things I want to do. I have to also take care of myself. But sometimes when I sit there in a little bit of concern, I'm like, no, it's okay, Ken. It's like you're doing your morning meditations. You've been doing that every single day for 2 weeks now. You're doing your mirror work again and getting some exercise done. I want to get more consistent with that, but I'm getting there. Food and sleep. So all my basics, it's like the beginnings of my day, I'm doing pretty darn good on that. And then I'm still making progress in other things. Maybe not as quickly as I could. And in theory, I could go faster. Yes. But right now, this is the best I'm able to do at the moment. As I keep going and getting into a better groove, I'll start getting other things done more quickly. But for the moment, working on myself is the key. And to keep doing that work because it's a matter of building up over time. So I think the stuff that I've done since I made that video at the beginning of the year is helping. And I'm going to keep doing things. And I hope that you all can find ways to be able to work with these parts of you too, because it is frustrating when they get overwhelmed and they get beating up on ourselves and that kind of stuff. But we don't need to. It's old patterns that we learned, or maybe not even directly, just it's what our brains did. Taking them from one thing and just kind of turning into something else. Sometimes it's direct patterns. But, keep going and don't ever give up on it. Because, there's so much about life that is beautiful and wonderful too. And it's always worth trying to work with ourselves and trying to constantly improve ourselves and keep growing. So I'll see you. Bye.